Hi guys, sorry I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been hooked up with exams and such alike, but I thought I'd bring you a update of my 10 SCTE. Quite a lot has gone on with this truck. As you can see, I'm still using stock electronics, still the Mumba Max and whatever this motor is. It's done brilliantly, this truck. Comparing it to my slash and bashing, it's exceeded my expectations. The A-arms are still stock. You've got a glimpse of what I'm going to show you in a minute. Things I have replaced in electronics is I've replaced this servo with a Savox Digital SW0231MG Metal Gears waterproof servo. It's the same speed as the stocker, but it's torquier and it won't strip because of the Metal Gears, obviously. But I've done tyres. My last video on this truck, was before I glued up some Sniper SCs, I think it was. But that was when I used to race, but I don't race anymore. So those are completely bald where I've been running outside. So now it's got trencher SCs on here. I think it's M2, just so it lasts longer. But it's still quite grippy. This still traction rolls on these tyres. Other things I've done, I've put hard anodised pivot balls in here just to minimise the wobbling that usually occurs after a long period of time with this truck. That's much better than it used to be, although it still wobbles. The front steering rack's much tighter. What else have I done? Sorry, lots of and ahhing. I've rebuilt all 3 diffs. They all got the heavy duty diffs. 5,000, 5,000, 3,000 diff oil, and they've got the lightened heavy duty outdrives on them, just so it stops wearing. I've also got the aluminium chassis braces, front and rear. The most recent upgrade I've done to this is that's a gold chassis under there, isn't it? It's my old chassis was all scratched and I didn't really like the look of it anymore, so I thought I'll just get the TLR Flex Tunes chassis. If you can see the logo, just about. It makes the truck lighter, but as I'm a basher, I can't really tell the difference in the way it corners and stuff like that. But I'm hoping it's made a difference. I think I paid £100 for this UK, and it just looks great. It's all I sort of bought it for. Nice features with the pockets machined into it. What else? RPM rear bumper and front bumper. Just the front one broke eventually after quite a while, to be honest. The rear I bought because I just like the look of it. Some people don't like the fact the mud flaps are diagonal, but I'm completely fine with that. I've also changed out the radios in here. The stock RTR radio for this truck was the Spectrum DX2E, 3E, one of them. Just go back to the other video and you'll find out. But instead I've got this Absema 2.4 GHz controller. This came as a bundle with the receiver, which is in there. It's a waterproof receiver with the waterproof servo. I'm trying to find a waterproof ESC at the moment. Looking at the Hobby Wing 80 amp waterproof, or the 120 amp, depending on what I want to do. This great remote, you can't really see what's on there, but you can change. It's got 10 model memory. You set your trims, dual rates, exponential. It's got simulated ABS, endpoints, and servo reverse. Great. It's got the drop-down wheel, so great ergonomics. Easy to use. A little bit of bounce in the wheel, but it was £50, I think. So I thought it was a great deal to have. Things coming up for this truck, I'm getting new centre dog bones because these have completely worn out, a little bit rattly. One thing I will say about this truck is, in my experience anyway, I upgraded the front chassis brace to aluminium, and the front dog bone seems to rub against it and making it sound like a tingling sound as you slow down or accelerate, for that matter. So what I've done, I've put a bit of tape around it just so it wouldn't contact the actual metal on metal, and that stopped that. My shocks are as they were stock. I should really rebuild them soon. Still the plastic caps and rings, same oil, same springs, and I think that's about it. That's all I've really done to it. I did the body that you saw last time, the pre-cut one that came as it was, the stock replacement body. Still got that, still good body. But I did buy which you saw in the running video I posted a couple of months ago, so long ago. But I bought a new body, a Proline Chevy Silverado Flowtech shell. Cut it out, I've painted it, but the thing is, it doesn't really fit this truck that well. It says it's got the SCTE drill holes in it, but the way I like my truck, I like the body to sit about, the wheel arch just about here, and that body just was way up here somewhere, and if you see, these body posts are completely flat, so I had to take this off and lower it and screw it by 2 screws, and in the end I just didn't like that, so it's in my room, but it's no scratches or anything on it, no cracks. So I've just gone back to the stock one that I painted up in the black and red, but what I've done with that, I've completely blacked it. I've put electrical tape over the white stripes. It looks like it's matte, just so I've got these yellow discs, which I got purely by accident, actually, in an order. I tried to send them back and they said no, you can have them, so I've kept them, and I think they look quite good, to be honest, on this truck. Sort of like the TLR team colour, to be honest. But that's about it, to be honest. And I got the rear skid plate as well. I can't remember if I had that in the last video or not. It's so long ago, but I've got that as well, just so to protect this new chassis. One thing I would say about the chassis, it's harder to scratch than the stock one. Much harder to scratch. It's the black one, if you went up a curb, so like that, it would scratch immediately, but this, I've gone up and down curves so many times, and it's only got 1 or 2 scratches, and it's quite hard to scratch. I didn't expect that. But that's about it. My slash is getting the LCG conversion kit from tractors themselves, to make that the LCG, and then I'll be doing a rebuild of that. So I'll have then 2 SCs running, and then my buggy, which I don't think you've ever seen before yet. It's that I'll be working on that soon after I've done the slash. It needs a new ESC, and I need to sort out the pinion and spurs, but that's a bit of tinkering, and that's about it, to be honest. This truck is brilliant in every single way from what I can see. I was going to plan on making it into the 810 buggy, but I don't know if it's worth changing it, because I mean, I think RCA Network did one not that long ago, a couple of days ago maybe, and he's converted it into the 810. And it looks smart, but it's the adapters that you need, and I don't like buying stuff. I know this might sound stupid, but I don't like buying stuff from like eBay or websites in America because of the shipping costs and the time, and I like getting stuff from websites and places based in the UK. So I get my stuff from Model Sport UK and Apex Models, both good suppliers of parts, both got good customer support, and if you're in England I recommend shopping at those two places. But that's about it, to be honest. Sorry this is bent, but yeah, that's about it. One thing I would say about these diffs is you're going to rebuild them. The screws, 1/16 inch screws, are a pain. The heads strip instantly as soon as you try and put torque on them. Right, I went through 2 diffs, and this was an expensive mistake. I stripped the first one, and I couldn't get the screw out, so I thought I'll just buy a whole new diff part, so planetary gears, the HD outdrives, and the casing, and that one stripped as well. And then my dad suggested it was my driver, and I said no, it's new. And the surprising thing is, we bought a new one, and I could get the screws out easily. So if your screws are stripped on this, it might not be your screws, it might be your driver. But some of it was my screws when my tool was new. The way it kept stripping, it was round in the head on the hex. But yeah, that's about it, to be honest. It's truck coming up for about 6-7 months old now. Still going strong. I would show you the bodies, but the one's completely mucky from running it earlier, and one is the Chevy body, which is too far away for me to be bothered to get it. Yeah, so comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Hope you have a good time or good day, whenever you're watching it, and see you in my next one, which you'll probably be knowing me in next year. Yeah, see ya.